Film Study.
All right, you guys know I love the offensive line. I've got the quote. The offensive line makes the NFL world go round. And for the longest time, I've been trying to portray how our Dolphins offensive line looks. And, it's so hard to see how an offensive line is playing out. Kind of gets bogged down in the jargon of the game, and you can get real stark differences in evaluations. So I racked my little brain for quite some time. And I figured a way to reach the core essence of an offensive line by not talking about their strengths and where they succeed, but where the clear failures in each individual player's play is, that there can be no debating, and then showing each of these on film so you can get an understanding of what's the cap of this offensive line. But these are things that we can all agree on. You could be the most basic knowledge base of football, and you will understand these keys. These keys are easy keys that anybody could pick up, because I'm going to give you an up-close look of each player stacking all these keys together. What are these keys? Well, first key, sloppy play. Sloppy play is easy. Penalties, bad play. Laid out of your stance, bad play. If you're on the ground and someone's not underneath you, that's a bad play. Terrible technique. Clear things, not just one off, but things that are repeating through the course of the game. And it's technique that drives a player's skills and their success. So I'll string together not one failure, but repeated failures and techniques so you can see, hey, when this guy fixes this, he'll get better. But until then, this is why he's having issues. And last, overpowered. The base of any offensive lineman has to be handling power. I don't care if you use speed, technique, nastiness, you cheat really well, or you got raw strength or massive size. But if you're overpowered, you're on a run play and you're driven behind the LOS, you're bull rushed and thrown to the ground or dominated anyway, this is a bad sign. And all these tells compiled together will help you understand where your offensive line is. Football is not about just picking out 5 or 6 good plays and saying this is what he can do, and so this is the kind of player he is. NFL is about consistency, and it's about your weakness, especially on the offensive line. An efficiency rating, which means your success in a certain number of plays, is around 98 to 98.5 in your overall pass blocking grade. And then in your true set pass blocking grade, where you're not getting any help, it's around like 96. So that means out of 100 snaps, you're supposed to expect to get 98 or 98.5 of them accomplished. And then even when you're like asked to pass block on your own, it's supposed to be around the 96 range. In the run blocking, it's a little harder to grade what the efficiency rating is. But when you stack a bunch of film together on a player and you see how they looked in the run game, and you got 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 plays where they get defeated in the run game, you know they didn't have a good day. So without much further ado, here is the Miami Dolphins offense versus the Patriots. I'm going to go from best to worst, and I'm going to use these clear keys with plenty of film, and it's not going to be too long, and you'll have a full taste of what Miami Dolphins offense looks like as far as these critical and crucial keys. Terron Armstead. Rusty and wearing down. Still good, though. First snap, got here, laid out of his stance. I mean, he was late. We saw one of these issues last year when it was a big sack. But you can't have that. And I think this is part of the reason why he's gone back to practice. So next play here, you can see he gets his arms wrapped around the outside. He gets beat to the inside. This is not usual Terron. One hand inside, one hand outside. And this is not the proper technique. He's a bit of a smaller guy at 300, and he gets beat. I know he's looking at this tape and hating it. This one's even worse. So zone stretch run. He gets decent leverage, but the hands, they're not really in control inside. And Wise Jr. is not a great run stopper, just tosses Terron to the ground. I am sure Terron is tossing over this film. And again, another reason why he's decided to come and get some extra practice. Now, look at this one against White, who's a powerful, beautiful play, takes that step forward there to kind of cut it off a little bit. Look at the balance on the one leg, meets him head first, and Wise just has the power to drive him back, and this is not normal Terron. Doesn't affect the play, but it could have. It was very, very close. Robert Jones, one of his best games in a long time, but he was sloppy on the move. See right here, just totally whiffs, gets to the second level and whiffs again. You don't want to put your hands with a light touch on a guy's shoulder. That's how he slips you and gets underneath. It was a token effort, and then he misses the second level. I think the running back should have taken it up, but if he had nailed that guy shooting inside and really driven him to ground, Mostert could have bounced that thing out even with the guy at the second level. So this wasn't a good play on him by him at all. Again, on the move, and he just wasn't called a holding call, but on the move, he doesn't have the same ability. He just rips down the defender. There was no need for that. Gets his legs out of sorts. You'd see the cross-legged thing. You can't do karaoke on the field. Big mistake right there. Then again here, second level, and then he does the bear hug. This could have been called too, and it wasn't. Just because it's not being called, you still got to tag that because the refs can hit you at any moment. And you see, just on the move, he just bear hugs the guy. And so he had some real good play, but definitely not on the move. Things you got to watch out for going forward. Aaron Brewer, our new center, can't handle power. People have been debating me on that, but I think this one's going to tell you a ton. All right, here you go. Inside, one hand inside, one hand outside. Nice job till the end. That was a hole there, but here's the line of scrimmage. He doesn't get driven back. He kind of negotiates it pretty well. This is a pretty good job getting a shoulder inside and riding him. There wasn't that extra block. It would have been a great block, I think. I'd like to have seen him driven out, but that is a good block for that zone stretch. But then here, you just can't have it because even if he gets tackled there, you might lose a yard or two. And he might have been if he wasn't being held. But if you get the holding call, it's -10. So here you go, inside, one-on-one, and he just can't hold his ground. Again, he just gets the stalemate. It's decent inside, but one hand on the shoulder and one hand inside is not enough. He's battling, his back is bowed, but he just can't control the defender who escapes and gets past him. You'll see this more in a clear fashion going forward. Again, inside the one hand inside, one hand outside, gets slipped, and the hand by the defender drives him and gets penetration. And while the pass doesn't get off, there's a play action. It's almost deflected, and you'll see on the next play, it does. And he just can't handle the power of that defender. And here we'll see it again. Gets a quick slip inside, just doesn't have the strength. Hand gets up and deflects the ball. So that's 1 for 2, and that's not good. And that started with being driven back because of lack of power. You can see right there, hand up. You just can't have that. Well, this theme of lack of ability to handle power will continue. Again, he gets inside here. Not bad. Good block, but he gets driven back by bad blocks down the line, but then he gets the holding call there. So you got to give him the penalty on that. Inside, and this is bad. He dumps his head, and he gets swum on by a linebacker. Not sure why. He's bigger than this guy by about 50 pounds. He sees White coming at him. White takes the outside. Brewer's there, and then he's got bad balance, dips the head, slipped. Not good technique, off balance, head dipped, and then you get some penetration. Ball gets off, but again, almost deflected. It's not what you want to see. Here in a run game, just tossed to the side. That is a very ugly look. Just doesn't have the power. Nice technique right there, but then he gets ahead of him a little too much. He just doesn't have the juice, the junk in the trunk, and he gets tossed to the side. Pass block here. Slides to the left, sets up, hands on the outside, that ugly look, terrible stance, no pop, no bend, gets swum on. That's just not what you want. That's a hold. That's bad technique. He's got no inertia, no drive, swum on. Then the defender gets around him and gets the sack. Again, can't handle power. Gets inside on the run game and just tossed aside. Hand in the shoulder pad over here. This is a sign of domination. We all know this from Pee Wee football. Totally dominated here. I think that's, I don't know, that's white. No. Anyway, totally dominated. Again, shoulder pads held high, dominated. No, he moves him down the line of scrimmage, but there's no progress to push him away from the line of scrimmage. Shoulder pads held high, totally controlled, dumped. And then his guy gets in on a tackle. Again, inside a double, they get split. Eichenberg didn't do a good job. And then again, you can see the shoulder pad high on Brewer. He just doesn't have the power. And then you get the loss over there. Clearly, all these have to show you that Brewer, he's just got an issue when it comes to handling power. Right tackle, Austin Jackson. Can't handle power and sloppy footwork. I think that's part of his handling the power issue. So here we go. I think he had a terrible day, maybe even worse than Eichenberg. Sets up here. This is a linebacker, just blow him off. You'll say, oh, it's no big deal, but watch his feet. Right here, 1 foot in the air, leaning back. There is no power there. There's no balance. He gets popped, and you say, oh, it's no big deal. But you'll watch this expand. It'll look worse. Again, look at him bowed here in the run game. No drive, 320-pound man. That is a sign of someone one arm into him, domination. They're going to fire an hour from him, and then his guy gets in on a tackle. Sets up here, puts his hands forward, patty cake, and then he just loses control. That was an ugly set. Feet popping, just puts his leg. Look at that. That is no balance. One leg stiff. There's nothing there. You can't rebound. You got no balance. You got no power. And he just gets beaten. He flushes the quarterback out who makes a play, but that's a theme that's going to continue. Laid out of his stance on this one. Saw it with Terron, so it doesn't mean he's a bad guy, but he was late and it kind of cost him on that play. Again, here's another linebacker just blowing into him, pushing him aside. Cracking the edge. See right here, watch his footwork. And that's not, you're twisting your hips. You're locking your foot in the ground. There's no control there. And he just gets pushed around. Doesn't have the physicality. It's almost like he's afraid to get hit on that one. This one here just pops his legs out. Now watch the feet. Does karaoke twice. You'll see it here. This is one of the reasons why he's got no balance. Bad footwork right there. Too narrow base. Looks like he's doing a karaoke drill. And then again, here, legs totally cross. So easy to be thrown to the ground. You'll see this multiple times today. We'll get into it some more later, so you see it's not just me being nitpicky. Here in a run game, a 320-pound man driven way behind the line of scrimmage. Look at that. I mean, he's hugging, wrestling him down. Should have been wrestling or something, and just thrown away. Running back at some yards after that, but that's not what you want. Again, here, you can see, watch the footwork right there. He's doing a karaoke, gets a little sloppy again. It's a consistent theme, and now you see him slip, and that is part of the reason why. Karaoke, cross footwork on the ground, and this will happen to much better competition later on. Here's the line of scrimmage. He's got a block over here, a little zone stretch maybe, or inside zone, and he's just not going there. One hand in his chest. And he doesn't move at all. In fact, he goes behind the line of scrimmage a little bit. Then his guy shuts the running back down to cut back and kind of cripples the run play. Again, he has another pass rush, and look at him getting totally destroyed. And the hand almost gets the deflection. A lot of penetration. But look at the feet. Then they're not parallel, they're horizontal to each other. 1 foot is in the air. Terrible footwork and just totally thrown. And you almost get another deflection. Here he is in pass protect. Now this is another linebacker just throwing him back. I mean, you had more issues on the tight end block at the end, but how does your 320-pound guy have that happen? And now this is a 208-pound guy who just jacked up Jackson on a blitz. 208 pounds. Look at him. The feet is spread wide. He's leaning forward. There's no pop. He's just putting his hands out there. And this guy just battles him back and moves him about, 2 or 3 yards. That can't be. Not with a 208-pound guy. Now, this is an ugly one. He just dives forward. Bad technique, bad footwork, thrown to the ground. It's not a one-off. You'll see over here is another one. Is in the run game again. And just watch him totally dominate. Again, the shoulder pads in the air. Gets pushed back into the running back a yard or half or so behind the line of scrimmage. Here's another dump. You're not seeing things twice. It's a totally different play than the one before. But bad technique, leading with his head. Just terrible. Thrown to the ground again. And his guy kind of screws up the run play. So you can see his footwork is clearly bad, and it's hindering him, and it's aiding to his inability to handle power. But then there's just a nature about him that he doesn't seem to have that aggressive power, the angry, nasty power to go against all the guys who are big, strong, and nasty. Liam Eichenberg. Eichen to infinity and beyond. This wasn't a bad game. This is like Mrs. Lincoln saying, I had a bad time at the theater. This was an atrocious game. And this is not an anomaly. He oversets here, and you'll say, maybe it's this or that. He oversets a lot. If you'll see, I think he's trying to compensate for his flaws by oversetting and trying to get off the ball very quick, and that's leading to problems. But you can see also Jackson, too, overset. I got to put it in the yellow one, but I just didn't. Here you go again. Eichenberg on a linebacker, put on skates, driven back, 310-pound guy, 315-pound guy by a 250-pound guy. And on the move, he just has bad footwork, hugging him, doing a dance, and then driven back and caused major issues for the run game. Now watch, you can see him. It could have been a false start here. He's jumping early, and he is very anxious. And you can see here he oversets again, inside pressure. Picks it up at the end, but that's not what you want. So this isn't the same play, but the same result, same thing. The inside shoot, trying to get to a certain angle because he knows he can't handle it, and he gets beat inside. Doesn't cause the play to be an issue, but you can see that's a major problem. Again here, totally left in the dust. That is, how ugly is that? Outside, inside, out. Then the rip, not even a rip needed, frozen like a deer in the headlights. Again here, the slight double, put on skates, thrown away by White. Not involved in the play too much. It bends back with that by design or because White, I don't know. But that's not a good look. Again, see, look at that. Just totally controlled. The running back's got to cut it back, and I think that's where you get the hold by Brewer. Double here again. Can't control him. Running back does a great job breaking this, but is that the kind of run block that you're looking for? And there's many, many more of these. He oversets here, gets beat inside. I don't know if it's the same one. I guess I can hypnotize it. I don't think it's the same one. But it's the hand to the face mask. Should have been hands to the face. Grab the face mask on that one. So that was a double winner. Now here's a girl. He pushes Brewer out of the way and then misses his second level. Watch this. This is something else. This is a double duty screw up. Throws them both down, his own guy and the other guy, and then it misses his guy. Now watch, he does the same thing twice. This is not the same play. Watch. Gets it, pushes Brewer and his guy away, and then misses the block, and then his guy, the second level, gets a tackle. Brewer gets shoved out of it. What is he thinking? And then he gets to the second level and misses his guy, and his guy's, that is terrible. He's the line of scrimmage. He's driven back maybe a yard and a half. Running back gets taken care of because that's not winning football. How many of these do you need to see before you realize he can't handle power? He's got lots and lots of issues. Here you go. Sets up inside and just thrown to the ground. His guy shoots inside and drives the quarterback. This is like not abnormal. I don't understand how. One bad game. I mean, could you imagine your guard having this much time on the ground? It's unbelievable the cover that Eichenberg gets from some. This is Eichenberg on the move. His supposedly his strength is he's an agile player. That's why we got him. Athlete. Pulling down the line of scrimmage here, and Divide just dumps him. I mean, you should get paid for being on the ground. Look at that. How do you even quantify that? I mean, some people grade him by like zeros and ones. Is it like 7 zeros or what? Here you go, inside, push, and then a little quick pressure. Just understand how quick that play is. Real quick. Look, inside, shoot. And here you go again. Not the same play, but you're getting pressure real quick. These are two plays, same issue. And one caused a quarterback to move and the other one didn't, but it could have. Here's a line of scrimmage. Watch Eichenberg, driven back, and his guy almost gets the tackle, running back to a nice cutback, but that's not a win. I mean, by the numbers of the play, you'd say it's a win, but is that a win? Here you go. Overshoots again. There's not the same play. It's a totally another play. I think. I don't even know anymore. I feel like I'm being concussed by these things. And here's the super special. Look at this one. Watch this one. Sets up. Not terrible setup, but watch him driven back. I mean, that is incredible. So, you can, I don't know, gauge this however you want. You got the material. I think we can all agree on 99.9% of those plays aren't good. And when you get that many plays from Brewer, Eichenberg, and Jackson on the right side, that means you can't handle power and you're going to have loads of inconsistency. The Patriots, some people say it's the 9th best run defense. They played the 5th best rush attack, and San Fran gave up 132. The 19th best running attack with the Seahawks. 24th was Cincy in the 32nd versus the Jets. And all those games, they had their 2 best defenders. The whole defense is based on 3 safeties, and Duggar and Peppers was the best run stopper they had. Both those guys were out. This defense is gutted. They have no offense. And that 9th great or very good top 10 won't be that by the end of the season. But, it'll be months from now and nobody will remember. So understand what you got here. I think I could have put some more in for Jones. I think I missed 1 or 2. I remember there's 2 more plays that I didn't like. I thought one where he got physically beat, but it was a lot of work, guys. So I had the format down. I'll do better next time. Hope you enjoyed. I'm really just trying to reach you guys the best I can and present my information. So Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out.
No BS Film Study.
Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceBread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.